General Hospital Spoilers tease that as the situation surrounding Daisy continues to grow more dire, Jason and Felicia find themselves facing one of the most challenging and dangerous periods of their lives. With each passing day, the web of threats grows tighter, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Their usual calm and resolve are being tested to the limit as they work together to address a multitude of new challenges that threaten not only Daisy's safety but also the stability of their world in Port Charles. Jason, a man known for his ability to remain level-headed in the most dangerous situations, is now faced with a crisis unlike any he's encountered before. His protective instincts are firing on all cylinders, but this time, the danger is more insidious, more complex than simply facing off against rivals or enemies. Daisy's safety is in jeopardy. And Jason knows that time is of the essence. Every moment counts as they try to outmaneuver the growing number of threats. The threats against Daisy are coming from multiple angles. And Jason understands that the consequences of failure are far too great to contemplate. His determination to protect his family, especially Daisy, is driving him to take actions that could very well change the course of Port Charles's future. Felicia, with her sharp mind and vast experience in navigating both personal and professional crises, proves to be an invaluable asset in this fight. She is not easily shaken, but even she feels the weight of the situation. Her background in detective work has prepared her for navigating the twists and turns of dangerous situations, but she's aware that this time, things are different. With Daisy's life on the line, she knows that failure is not an option. Felicia's calm and calculated approach provides a much-needed counterbalance to Jason's more impulsive nature, and together, they make a formidable team. However, as the pressure mounts, it's clear that their partnership is being tested in ways they never imagined. The increasingly dangerous situation surrounding Daisy is not just about keeping her safe from immediate physical harm. The larger battle involves protecting her from the psychological and emotional toll of the chaos around her. Jason and Felicia must protect her not just from external threats but from the fear and anxiety that this ongoing crisis is sure to breed. The weight of the threat against her future is taking a toll on all of them, especially as they begin to understand the full scope of the conspiracy at play. Meanwhile, the forces that have been working against them are growing stronger. Drew's vengeful intentions, Sidwell's manipulation, and the looming danger of external enemies all threaten to tear apart everything Jason and Felicia have been fighting for. The situation is only becoming more chaotic. And the two are constantly on edge, trying to stay one step ahead of those who would do Daisy harm. Their determination is unwavering, but the pressure is beginning to take its toll. Every time they think they have found a solution, another problem arises, and they are left scrambling to keep up. The growing tension is beginning to feel suffocating, with every choice they make having far-reaching consequences. Their lives, once grounded in the familiar routines of their roles in Port Charles, are now dominated by the need to protect Daisy at all costs. The personal stakes have never been higher. Jason and Felicia's bond, once centered around their loyalty to their families, is now being tested in ways that neither of them expected. The stress is building, and the cracks in their relationship are starting to show. They are both beginning to question whether they are making the right decisions, and whether their efforts to protect Daisy are enough to overcome the many obstacles in their path. What started as a manageable problem has spiraled into an all-encompassing battle for survival. Daisy's safety is no longer just about keeping her away from danger, it's about keeping her whole, both physically and emotionally, as the world around her unravels. Jason and Felicia must continue to face the challenge of protecting her from the growing number of people and forces that are intent on tearing her world apart. The emotional and psychological strain is heavy, and each new revelation seems to throw them further into uncertainty. As the situation escalates, the future of Port Charles hangs in the balance. Jason and Felicia, despite their deep loyalty to each other and to Daisy, are beginning to realize that the stakes are higher than they could have ever imagined. Every action they take has the potential to tip the scales in one direction or another. The power of their combined efforts, and their growing sense of urgency, could either lead to Daisy's safety or cause them to spiral into a web of new dangers they cannot control. The battle to protect Daisy is only just beginning. And Jason and Felicia must now face not just external threats but also their internal fears and doubts. The pressure to succeed is overwhelming. And the consequences of failure could tear apart everything they've worked so hard to protect. In this race against time, there are no guarantees. And every decision they make could have lasting effects on their lives and the lives of everyone around them. The future is uncertain. And the only thing Jason and Felicia can do is continue to fight for Daisy, no matter the cost. Felicia is stepping into a new role with a renewed sense of responsibility. As she takes the lead in ensuring Daisy's safety amidst growing threats. With the stakes rising and danger looming at every turn, Felicia has become the protector everyone needs. Stepping up where others have faltered. As she takes on this critical role, she is not only facing the external threats but is also uncovering deeper, more dangerous secrets that have been hidden in plain sight. The shifting dynamics in Port Charles are causing ripples in the otherwise calm waters. And Felicia is at the center of a whirlwind of challenges. As she works to safeguard Daisy, she begins to piece together the bigger picture. Realizing that the dangers facing them are far greater than anyone could have anticipated. The changes that Felicia is navigating are not just about the immediate threats but about ensuring long-term security for those she loves. The stakes are high. And the burden on her shoulders has never been heavier. The sudden and unexpected shift in responsibilities is pushing Felicia to her limits, as she finds herself filling the shoes of Anna, who is preoccupied with other matters. Taking Anna's place is no small feat, especially given the weight of the situation. Felicia is now not just a bystander in the unfolding drama but an active participant, taking control of a situation that is quickly spiraling out of control. Her ability to adapt quickly and use her sharp instincts is being tested like never before. But as Felicia assumes this new role, she is also beginning to uncover a series of new threats that had previously gone unnoticed. The dangers surrounding Daisy are not as straightforward as they first seemed. As she digs deeper, Felicia begins to unravel a more complex and dangerous conspiracy, one that involves not just external enemies but internal betrayals that are much closer to home. The revelations are coming at her fast, and with each new discovery, the situation becomes more dire. In the midst of all this, Felicia's determination to protect Daisy is unwavering. However, as the risks increase, so too does her understanding of how fragile their situation really is. Her sharp instincts, combined with her deep sense of loyalty and love for Daisy, are pushing her to take risks that could ultimately change the course of events. She realizes that to ensure Daisy's safety, she might have to make sacrifices she never imagined. But there's a personal cost to all of this as well. As Felicia takes charge, she is slowly beginning to lose her own sense of stability. The pressure of the situation is mounting. And the emotional strain is starting to take a toll on her. She is forced to confront the fact that the more she steps into Anna's role, the more she is distancing herself from the people who rely on her. There is a delicate balance between protecting Daisy and maintaining her own well-being. And Felicia is starting to feel the weight of this responsibility in ways she never anticipated. As Felicia navigates this complex and dangerous new world, she is also faced with the reality that no one is as safe as they once thought. The new threats, the hidden betrayals, and the pressure of being the one to protect Daisy are all weighing heavily on her. But despite all of this, Felicia's commitment to her family and her fierce determination to ensure Daisy's safety drive her forward. There is no turning back now. The changes Felicia is undergoing are profound. She is no longer just a bystander in the fight for her family's safety, she is the one making the tough decisions and taking the risks. This new role is pushing her to her limits. But it's also revealing just how far she is willing to go for those she loves. As she takes on the mantle of protector, she begins to see just how much she's changed in the face of adversity. Her journey is one of immense personal growth, and while the challenges ahead are steep, Felicia is more determined than ever to ensure that Daisy is safe, no matter the cost. As the intensity of the situation surrounding Daisy continues to grow, Felicia and Jason find themselves in a rapidly evolving partnership. One that requires them both to step out of their comfort zones and adapt to the high-stakes environment they are now facing. while both have always been capable in their respective roles. The demands of the current crisis force them to blend their strengths and work together in ways they haven't before. Felicia, the seasoned detective, and Jason, the enforcer, must now combine their abilities to navigate a world where danger doesn't just come from physical threats but from deep-seated manipulation, deception, and the shadows of their past. Felicia, ever the strategist, has always been quick on her feet, capable of thinking through problems and finding creative solutions. However, the situation at hand requires more than just her usual problem-solving abilities. With Anna absent and the pressure mounting, Felicia finds herself in a position where her typical methods are no longer enough. She needs Jason to step up and provide the backbone for their new strategy. Jason, known for his ability to stay calm under pressure and his capacity to make quick, often life-altering decisions, is now being asked to do more than just protect the people he loves. This time, his role requires more than just muscle. It demands intellect, foresight, and the kind of leadership he's rarely had to exercise in the past. What makes this situation even more challenging is the shift in their dynamic. Felicia, accustomed to taking charge in her own way, now has to rely on Jason to lead in areas that were once solely her domain. The line between protector and strategist has blurred, and they find themselves in unfamiliar territory. As Jason steps into a more leadership-oriented role, Felicia must learn to trust him in new ways. She must allow him to make decisions that might affect their lives and the lives of their loved ones. Decisions that could have lasting consequences. It's a shift that challenges both of them to grow, both as individuals and as partners. Jason, on the other hand, is dealing with his own evolution. While he's always been the one who protects and defends, this situation is different. The pressures are not just physical, they are psychological, emotional, and tactical. For the first time, Jason finds himself taking on a more intellectual role in their shared fight, one that requires patience and foresight, not just quick action. The weight of leading a delicate and dangerous operation is heavier than ever, and with every decision he makes, the stakes continue to rise. He must learn to navigate the complicated world of strategy and deception while still holding on to his instincts to protect his family. Together, they form a team that is more formidable than ever. They balance each other, with Felicia's calm, analytical mind complementing Jason's physical prowess and quick thinking. However, this new phase of their partnership also brings about tension. Felicia, once accustomed to handling everything herself, now has to let go and trust Jason in ways she never has before. Jason, usually the one relied upon to take action, now finds himself in a position where his ability to think, plan, and lead is just as important as his ability to protect. As their relationship evolves, the challenges they face continue to escalate. The dangers surrounding Daisy grow more complex by the day, and with each new threat, Jason and Felicia's connection grows stronger. However, they also realize the emotional toll this crisis is taking on them. Their shared focus on protecting Daisy is causing them to make sacrifices, not just in their roles but also in their personal lives. They both struggle with the weight of the decisions they have to make, knowing that each choice brings them closer to an uncertain future. Despite the growing tension, there is a deep sense of commitment between them. They are both fiercely determined to protect Daisy and ensure her safety, no matter the cost. But as they delve deeper into the web of deceit and manipulation, they begin to understand that protecting Daisy is only part of the challenge. The real test will come in how they navigate the emotional turmoil and the consequences of their actions. Can they keep their focus and their bond strong in the face of so much pressure? Or will the weight of their decisions tear them apart? This new phase in their relationship is a test for both Felicia and Jason. It's a test of trust, resilience, and their ability to adapt to a changing world where the risks are greater than ever. The pressures of protecting Daisy, along with the shifting dynamics of their partnership, make this a defining moment in their relationship. As they move forward, they will face even more challenges, but one thing is clear: their bond, forged in the heat of battle, is stronger than ever. Whether or not they can overcome the growing danger to Daisy, and the emotional toll it takes on them, remains to be seen, but they are committed to finding a way, together. The future of their family, and Port Charles itself, hangs in the balance, and the choices they make now will define everything that comes after. Felicia and Jason are standing at the precipice of an unfolding drama that will not only challenge their abilities but also test the very foundation of their relationship. What initially started as a routine mission to protect their loved ones has now evolved into an intricate and dangerous dance where trust, loyalty, and strategy will determine the fate of everyone involved. As the days pass, the stakes continue to climb, and the pressure mounting on both of them has never been more intense. What's at play now is much bigger than a simple protective mission. This is a battle for survival, and both Felicia and Jason are inextricably caught in its grip. Felicia, always the sharp-witted investigator, is no longer simply running the show on her own. While her analytical mind has always been one of her greatest assets, the situation at hand requires more than just her insight. It demands the combined strength and sharpness of both herself and Jason. She has to rely on him more than ever before, pushing past her usual methods and entrusting him with the decisions that once might have been her sole responsibility. The dynamic between them has shifted. Jason is no longer just the enforcer. He must think beyond instinct and develop strategies to navigate a world filled with traps and traps. It's a significant transition, and one that pushes them both to rethink how they work together. Jason's ability to quickly adapt to any situation is being put to the test as never before. Known for his ability to tackle physical confrontations with precision, Jason now finds himself in a position that demands mental acuity and patience. The unfolding crisis with Sasha, Michael, and Sunny has made it clear that Jason can no longer rely on brute strength alone. The stakes are higher, the consequences of each move more severe, and every choice has a ripple effect that could change everything. This is a side of the fight that Jason has not had to face before, but it's one that is forcing him to evolve. He must look beyond his usual role as protector and become a strategist, someone who can outmaneuver an enemy that is just as cunning as he is. Meanwhile, Felicia, too, is growing. As the mother of Maxie and grandmother to her children, her protective instincts run deep. But she now realizes that her ability to protect them doesn't only come from physical strength or knowledge, it comes from her ability to understand the larger game that's being played. This realization forces her to lean into her partnership with Jason, where she has always been the calmer and more logical presence. She understands that in order to protect her family, she must evolve into a version of herself that trusts others more than ever before. However, their partnership is not without strain. As the investigation into the tangled web surrounding Sasha, Michael, and Sunny deepens, the tension between their roles becomes undeniable. Felicia and Jason are no longer just allies, they are co-leaders, navigating a complicated web of alliances, betrayals, and secrets that threaten to tear them apart. The emotional and physical toll of this battle is weighing heavily on them both. Felicia, while steadfast in her determination, begins to question if her methods are enough. She sees Jason taking more risks than ever before, and she worries that their bond might not survive the pressure. She's seen the damage that can be caused when one person has to bear too much, and she's not sure if they can both make it through the storm unscathed. For Jason, the fear of losing those he loves, especially Felicia, is becoming all-consuming. The risk of failure feels greater than ever before, and he knows that any misstep could cost them everything. He is terrified that the emotional toll of the decisions they are making will be too much for Felicia to bear, and he fears that his own capacity for sacrifice is being stretched thin. The emotional stakes are as high as the physical ones, and Jason's desire to protect everyone is beginning to conflict with his need to safeguard his own heart. The crisis surrounding Sasha, Michael, and Sunny is far from over. Each day brings new revelations that seem to make the situation even more dangerous and more complex. Sasha's mental state is rapidly deteriorating, and the deeper Felicia and Jason dig into the situation, the more complicated it becomes. The true threats they face are not just the visible enemies, there are hidden forces at play, and each one is more dangerous than the last. The game they're playing is not one that can be won with just strength or intellect. It will take everything they have to protect their loved ones from the dangers closing in on them. With each passing day, Felicia and Jason's bond grows stronger. But it is also tested more than ever before. They are no longer simply partners in a fight, they are two people forced to confront their own vulnerabilities, their own fears, and the harsh realities of the world they live in. And as the pressure builds, they are starting to realize that the fight ahead of them may be more than either of them can face alone. They must rely on each other like never before. There is no turning back from this mission, no matter the cost. And with each new development in the case, they are more certain that the choices they make now will determine the fate of everyone they hold dear. The story of Felicia and Jason is one of sacrifice, transformation, and survival. As the darkness encroaches upon them, they must find the strength to hold on to each other and the hope that they can still make it through. The road ahead is long, and the dangers are many. But their partnership is their greatest strength. They will need each other more than ever as they fight to keep their family safe, and to face whatever comes next in this perilous journey. Their story is just beginning, and it is one that will be written with every decision they make, every risk they take, and every heart they fight for.